Hello and welcome to the very first Toronto Marlies Google Plus Hangout. Pretty exciting. I did a couple of the Leafs ones, and now we're jumping on with the Marlies one, and a very special occasion coming up, the Marlies Host Editions, and we're closing application process very soon on Friday, August 24th. So we thought we'd bring in a couple of the bigwigs, a couple of the pros, to share some of their experience, to let you guys in on what they've been doing and what the keys have been to their success. So welcome, first of all, Brooke Pashley, you all know her, the former Marlies in-game host, present Leafs in-game host, Rachel Bonnetta, who is the, what do you call yourself, Rachel?
The Toronto FC brand ambassador is what I've been told.
That's your official title? The brand
That's the official title, yes.
We at the office just call her Fancy. We say, oh, it's
that
Rachel
too.
Fancy.
That works, yep, that works.
And Kat Stefankiewicz, Matter of Kat on Twitter from the Raptors side, will be joining us closely. She's just getting everything in working order on her computer. So, Brooke, I thought I'd start with you. Many people know you because you got your start, at least in Toronto with the Marlies. But how about you tell your story a little bit and how you got to where you are now during the off-season after your first full year with the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Well, it's been a long process, I guess, but I started my hockey career, I guess you could say, working in the OHL for the Windsor Spitfires as their in-arena host. I did that for just over 2 years. 2 Memorial Cups, yeah, good times. And so after there, I saw the opening for the Marlies position, so I did make a video myself and sent it off with the hopes of getting the job and moving up to Toronto to start my broadcast career. And I auditioned, I believe it was September 11th, like 2 years ago, I guess now. Came up, and it was really late before the season started, and had a live audition in front of some folks at the Marlies who were my future bosses. And obviously it went good because I landed the role. And then after that, spent a whole season with the Marlies. And then the Leafs audition came up the next summer. So I auditioned for that and submitted a video, submitted my resume, and here I am. Former Spitfires, Marlies, Leafs, now Leafs host.
A little bit of everything.
Look at all these people joining us.
Whole bunch of faces coming into play.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not.
I see my mom. I see her down there.
Do you? Tell her. Hi, Rachel's mom. It's nice having you here. You're doing a great job so far this season, but you probably know that already. Rachel, your mom knows. Rachel, your mom knows your full story on how you got here, but maybe some of the people joining us don't know the full story. So perhaps you want to share it. How did you come into this TFC dream job, and maybe what was your career path ahead of it, and then into it, and then now after it?
Well, I originally got this job by a contest on Facebook, and when I first applied to it, I thought that I had no chance. There was over 400 applicants. It was something that I had never applied to a job this way before, so it was definitely something new. I ended up making top 15 just after writing like a small bio of myself, all the things that I've been doing with my life, which was a lot of interning. And then the next step was to make a video. And so I made a video on why I should be the Toronto FC brand ambassador, and then I got top 5, and then that led to an interview with my bosses now, and then they picked me. Who knows why? I have no idea.
It must be the humor. You know, comedy has something to do with everything, doesn't it?
Just a little bit.
So, as promised, we have a couple questions that I have put together so that people can find a little bit more about you. And I ran you guys through some of them before. They are a little bit tough, so you better listen closely. But then after, we're going to be fielding some questions from Twitter as well. So, Brooke, I'm going to start with you, because the Marlies host is in a hockey environment, and you're probably the most acclimated to the hockey environment. So how has your knowledge of hockey helped you throughout the in-game process when it comes to the way you prepare your script? Do you get prepared for each of your reads? How does your knowledge of hockey really help you with that?
Well, I mean, it comes into play a lot of the times, especially because we are not only in the arena conversing about what's going on, in the game. We're actually on Twitter telling people what's happening in the game. So you have to actually know, who scored or whatever, if you are there. But in terms of in-game, when you're in-game, you get a script, and our script is structured so that our timeouts are set out for us. So there's, for instance, 3 TV timeouts in a period. There's one after the 14-minute mark, there's one after the 10-minute mark, and there's one after the 6-minute mark. Now, to know that is fine. You know that the time on the clock, yeah, big deal. But there can't be any penalties on the board. If someone scored a goal, we're not going to go to the TV timeout. So you have to be ready at all times, because your producer or your floor director will sometimes tell you, like, you have to go now. Or, for instance, if there's an icing, it usually takes longer to get the play back into play. So sometimes we'll do a longer read there if we have time for it. So if you know what's going on in the game, you know that it's an icing, so you might have to talk, or you know it's going to be a quick TV timeout, so you have to get all you need to say into one little blurb, then that's all the better for you.
Perfect, thanks. Now, Rachel, we talked about briefly the TFC Dream Job Challenge, which brought you into the position you are now, but obviously it was not because you know, one person or you had liked you, or you had the most Twitter followers, but it was a job application, and it was one that everyone who was involved in the challenge had to take very seriously. And part of that challenge was for you to make a video, and I believe it's when it got down to the top 15 people left, you had to make a video. What were some of the keys to your video? What did you think was important when you shot and then after edited your own video for the TFC Dream Job Challenge?
I think it's important to, in these types of situations, you want your bosses to know your personality, especially if you're on TV in a position like I was going to be. I just really wanted my video to show exactly who I was, and it did. Yeah, I was goofy, I was everything that I am, so I think that played a huge role in why I got my job.
Now, do you want to run through the plot of your video? Because
I remember. Oh my God, that's so hard. Okay, basically, it was everything. I started by saying these are the things that the job winner should have. So it was like, you should be an awesome person, you should be really good at soccer, and just like all these things. And then I would go through and show how I'm kind of the opposite of those things. So number one was like, the winner should be an awesome person. And then it went to this girl, Olivia, just talking about how, like, obviously being forced into saying something because she's, like, crying. She's like, Rachel's amazing. Like, oh, my God, she's the best person ever. And I'm, like, in the corner, like, threatening her, like, keep on talking. And then the second one was, you should obviously be really good at soccer if you're going to have this job. And so I got one of my buddies to wear my hair extensions and dress up like me and do, like, keep-ups, because I can only do, like, a few. And he did a bunch, but he was probably even worse than I was, so it just ended up terribly. So basically this man with extensions that had a beard tried to look like me, and it was kind of a failure. But it ended up being pretty funny, so that was my goal.
You know, we all placed bets ahead of time. We were wondering how long it took for you to grow in your 5 o'clock shadow after that video, because we're convinced that you could actually grow.
You know, about a couple hours, and then I'm good. I have a full beard. That's all it takes.
I appreciate you shaving ahead of our Google Plus Hangout. I know
no problem.
That I did as well. I think it's the most clean shaven I've been since the playoffs ended. It's a little bit scary. Brooke, I'm going to go back to you. What part of the job with the Marlies caught you by surprise after you started that maybe you didn't expect from your times in Windsor and now moving up to the pro ranks with the Marlies?
Well, it was a very, very organized thing. Let me tell you, when I worked for the Spitfires, we were kind of like a little family. Everyone did everything. And at the Marlies, when I got there, everything was very organized. I had a floor director who I didn't have, like, my own radio to tell me when to go. Like, she was telling me, you know, next stoppage you're going, which I thought was crazy because I kind of felt like I was something special, which is kind of interesting. But so that was quite a surprise. Plus, like, the structure of all the reads. In Windsor, I was used to just doing it whenever there was a stoppage, whereas in the Marlies, because we have, you know, TV deals and stuff like that, so they had to have their TV timeouts at the 14, after the 14, after the 10, and after the 6th. So you need to know those timings. So that was a big surprise to me, and of course, the scale of hockey, the level of hockey was a little intimidating at first too, because it was actually my first AHL game that I'd ever been to that I actually hosted at, so that was intense as well.
Were your parents there?
My parents were there, along with like 12 other of my family members, and they were probably biting their nails, more nervous than I was myself. But yeah, it was Thanksgiving game. Remember, Clay? Do you remember?
It was my first game as well. Because I started at the exact same time you started, and funny enough,
we were new fish together.
Exactly. I just found the picture. Remember when we did the preseason game in Bradford?
Oh yeah, that's right.
I just found the picture that we put up on Twitter from that day when you were standing there with your clipboard, and then now you're up with the big leagues. You're up with the Leafs. Rach, over to you. You're in the middle of something very important that I can never get the name of it right. I want to say the 12 days of TFC.
It's TFC 12.
It's called TFC 12, which is highlighting the involvement that the team plays within the community. And it kind of mirrors your role, because your job's not just found down on the pitch during game day, but also throughout the community. So maybe you can expand on the things that you've been doing recently over the last couple days, but also through your first full season with the TFC.
Yeah, for sure. I think that one of my major roles is just to keep everyone involved in the behind-the-scenes type of thing. So, I mean, I'm in the office every day. I get to hang out with the players. I'm around everything. I see everything. So a lot of people come to me to get that information, and I think that I definitely try to give that to them. Community work, I've been completely involved in TFC 12. It's been so much fun. We've had a really busy last 10 days. There's 2 more, and it's just really cool to like give back to your community and hang out with the guys and meet a lot of cool new people that really love TFC and that are totally grateful for us to do this. So it's been a really awesome experience.
What's the favorite part? What's your favorite stop so far?
The Humane Society for sure.
Puppies?
I got to like bottle feed these puppies that were like could barely even fit in my hands. They were so small and so cute. But that was one of my favorites for sure.
Pretty bomb. Brooke, I've seen you up on the scoreboard, the giant thing sitting there at the ACC after the games. You're interviewing a player, generally the first star, and the same thing is mirrored on the Marlies side, where starting last season they started interviewing the first star after the game. What is some of the keys to an interview, to a good interview?
I think she's frozen.
You think Brooke left us?
I think she did.
Rach?
Yes.
What are some of the keys to a good interview?
I think the key to a good interview is asking all the right questions. You need to know what having our roles is. Basically, we get to know everything that people sitting in the stands may not. So we are asking the questions that they want to know. So that's why you definitely gotta do your research, and you have to know what everyone's wondering, right? And also, good conversation. You gotta relax. Those are the best moments when you're joking around with somebody and you're having fun and they're relaxed as well. That's when the good talks come out.
And I think also what's very important, and you just demonstrated perfectly, is how to take a curveball. Because when things don't go the way you think it's going to go, or as the plan doesn't play out exactly how your script says, you have to be able to take the curveball and just kind of run with it.
For sure. Well, I'm very thankful to my school, actually. I had an improv class, which has helped me on so many levels. I went to Seneca at York, and that's probably one of my favorite classes, actually. And it just teaches you to learn to, you just got to be quick on your feet at all times. Something can change like that, and it'll completely change your script and the way that halftime goes. So you always got to be ready for whatever is going to be thrown at you.
Brooke is rejoining us, I think.
Dun,
now.
dun, dun, dun.
Brooke, you back?
Yeah. What the heck?
That's almost perfect timing, because Rachel.
It's my question? Oh, no.
I just answered your question.
Rachel just answered your question, so I'm not going to give you Rachel's question.
Okay, hold on, wait. I can't see anything. Can you guys see me?
Yeah, we can see you and hear you.
We can see you.
Oh, that's so weird.
In your nice jersey. I like it. Looks good.
Are you sure? Because
Yep,
I can't
positive.
see y'all. Okay, well, I'm not going to see you, but that's okay.
You ready to go?
I'm ready.
Okay. So one time, my first TFC game of this year, I saw Rachel interviewing Walk Off the Earth. So I was going to ask her this question, but now I'll ask you.
Okay.
When you are offered the opportunity to interview maybe former celebrities, music artists, things like that in the stands. And I remember most recently being Matt Sundin, and I think that was the one that impacted most people in the building as well as at home when they were able to watch him at ACC when his banner was raised. What are some of the keys maybe that you put out? I was going to ask Rachel what some of her neat experiences were, but with you, how do you formulate those interviews different than a hockey interview?
Well, with Matt, it kind of was a hockey interview, but I've done a few otherwise, and I think it's just more of you just kind of get a feel for the person and where they're headed as well, because you always, to be a good interviewer, and I'm sure both of you guys will both affirm me on this one, you have to listen to the question, which is a very, or listen to the question, listen to the answer, sorry. Listen to the answer of what the person's saying to you. So when you ask a question, you always have to listen for the answer, because they might give you your next question in their answer instead of just skipping to what you have written out or as your points. So you always have to be really attentive to what they're saying in terms of any interview, regardless of if it's hockey or not hockey. But yeah, in big interviews with Matt, I was intimidated because it was like my first time interviewing someone of his level, and it's Matt Sundin. I grew up watching him play, and I've been a fan my whole life, and it was kind of intimidating to me, but I was like, you know what, listen, this is your job. You're supposed to tell the fans, you know, about what's going on right now, so, you know, you just got to keep yourself under control, and once you do it, after, it's like, oh, that was nothing. That was like a normal conversation with a normal person, you know?
I completely agree about, sorry.
No, go for it.
I completely agree when you said that you got to listen to their answers. I've actually, when I was younger, I used to work for Rogers TV. I used to be a junior reporter, and whenever I'd go and interview someone, even if it was like an old lady at a senior's home, I'd be so nervous, and I'd write down all my questions. And I'd be so nervous about the next question getting it on point that I would never listen to what they had to say. And it could have been something great. I could have asked a way better question than I ever prepared. But I've now known, and I'm not suggesting this, like, notes are sometimes great for people, but now I go into an interview and I don't write anything down so that I'm forced to listen to them and forced to ask the question from there. And it also helps you learn to be better on your feet that way too. Like I just interviewed Terry Crews and Randy Couture of Expendables 2, and I went in there and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to write anything down. I want to have a good conversation with these people, and I'm going to go in there, I'm going to listen to what they have to say, and I did it, and it turned out awesome. So
I think you're completely right, Rachel, when you say that, because I'm the same way. But it works differently for everyone. So some people like to write it out, but if you have what you want to say written down, then that's a good thing. If you know what you're there to talk about, you know, that's a good thing as well. But definitely, listening is the key in both situations. Sure.
And listening to the ding in my ear.
I see Kat.
As Kat joins the conversation. Kat, how's your afternoon going?
I have like 4 computers here trying to find one that works.
But you're ready.
I'm ready. Nice Maryland poster, Kat. Do you see mine?
I'm just gonna say the same thing.
Apparently, a requirement is you have to be a Maryland lover as well. No, I'm kidding.
I don't have one behind me. Just TVs.
You're at work, though. You're allowed. It's okay. So, Kat, can you hear me all right?
I can, yeah. Yeah, the screen's jumping, but I'll just listen.
Okay, perfect. I'll throw you your first question. Maybe we'll go through a couple with you because I've gone through a couple with the other 2 ladies. Last season was a busy one for you. With the condensed season, you had lots of back-to-backs and some 3-and-3s, and that's something the AHL sees quite frequently. So what advice can you offer a Marlies host in coping with such a condensed schedule?
Oh, I think it's all about preparation, absolutely. And honestly, flying by the seat of your pants sometimes, too. Everything's live. My big thing is preparation. If it means getting up, 3 hours before you want to, and staying up 3 hours past what you want to stay up. Expect the unexpected. And it's all about research, I think. And, like you get your script and everything, but say it's a player interview that you're doing at a timeout, you just don't need to know that script. You need to know everything that player's been doing for the past week, for the past all the time. So you can bring a little more than what's on that paper to the moment.
And part of how you keep in tune with how you know what the players are doing, but also what the fans are doing, is the fact that you don't just live a lifestyle on the court, but also you live the social media lifestyle. It starts first thing in the morning when you tweet almost every morning, good morning, and then it ends sometimes late at night when you're doing your preparation, whether it was for Leaf stuff or Raptors stuff during last season. Now, what do you find a key, or what do you find particularly important to be able to keep up with all those different social platforms?
I think it's a non-stop conversation. I think that's what's important. You can't disappear. You got to be there for everybody, whether in the arena, during the games, or outside. What was the rest of that question there, Clayton?
Just how you keep up with all the different social platforms, and to throw a couple out there, I know you're active on Facebook. We were talking about it this morning. Obviously on Twitter, but also on Instagram as well, which is quickly coming up to be a different form of social platform that a lot of us are communicating in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just your life. You just live it, breathe it all the time. This thing's on me 24/7, and the notifications are coming up, and the quicker you answer, the easier it is. And yeah, I found it actually quite fun to tie everything in. You grab your Instagram picture, you throw it to Twitter, you throw it to Facebook. Yeah, and you're right though. Everything has been building, even this Pinterest thing. But yeah, no, it's I love it. But you live it and breathe it 24/7.
Now, Kat, you just said that you always have this thing on you. Rachel, quick question: when's the last time you've turned your phone off?
Probably yesterday, because my internet wasn't working. I had a panic attack. That's why I turned it off. But then I turned it right back on.
Brooke, last time you turned your phone off?
Yeah, I don't do it very often, but I know you're supposed to, so I do the monthly maintenance, I guess, turn off, whatever, I don't know. But it's right here, yeah. Branded as well, I live.
You're Maple Leafs.
I am.
Kat, remember, and actually we can almost tie Brooke into this, about this time last year, we were teamed up together to cover the Maple Leafs in arena auditions. What stood out from some of the competitors that came through that day to you as you watched them both in the arena and also on the Gate 5 screen?
I think a massive personality stands out. Bringing yourself to the plate there, and just trusting it. I think be yourself, trust it, and those are the people that shone that day to me.
I like big personalities too.
I think to add, to add to what Kat just said, someone tweeted me earlier asking what they could do to be the next host, and I said the same thing. Yeah, be yourself, the personality, because I get this question all the time, and I'm sure Kat and Rachel and even Clay, you do too. Who did you most look up to? Who do you want to be? And they mean, like, who do you want to be that's out there right now? And you shouldn't want to be anyone but yourself. You should always, people will love you because of who you are. You shouldn't want to be the next, even I was a Marlies host. You don't want to do what I did. You want to be yourself and offer the fans something unique that they will grab onto and really like about you.
Well, if I can jump in here, sorry. Just talking about being yourself and having a huge personality, I was told numerous times not to do my dream job video the way that I did it. They were like, you should do something more professional, and even my teacher was kind of like hesitant on some of the jokes that I was making, and I was just like, you know what? If they're going to choose me, it's because I'm me, not anybody else, and they did. So sometimes you just got to go with your gut.
Well, I look up to Paul Hendrick, but I guess that doesn't count. You guys can be yourself. I'll be Paul Hendrick. How does that sound? Sorry, Kat, you're going to say...
Well, Henny has big shoes to fill. He's a great guy.
Kat, you're going to say something?
It's okay.
No, we're good?
I skipped. Yeah.
Okay. I promised everyone, I hounded some of the applicants throughout the day, wanting them to submit some of their questions directed to some of you so that you could answer them throughout this Google Plus Hangout. So we're going to go through those now. Let's start with Tyson's question. He was the very first to respond.
Tyson.
I'm going to send it to you, Brooke. First, there's a two-part. What's the best part of working with MLSE? So I'll get you to start that one.
Oh,
what's the very best part?
Well, working with MLSE, like, because if you're a lover of sports, like I'm a lover of the Marlies, the Leafs, I've always been a lover of hockey, so it truly is, it's an actual dream job. And it's one of those jobs that once you start doing it and you start working with the awesome people that, like, I'm truly saying awesome people, you guys included, you guys are all awesome, you realize that, like Kat said, those long nights, the hours after you finish the game and you're still on Twitter, you're not working. Like, you don't realize that you're on your phone 24/7. You don't realize that, and that truly means that the job itself is fun. And I truly say, because some people always say to me, oh, you have the best job, but it must be the easiest job. And it's not at all, because we do the late hours, or we do have to comb through those tweets, and we do have to be on our toes at every single minute. If they're coming to us for a TV timeout, or if we're on Gate 5 Live and Kat gets thrown into the ring because they need to make up time, you always have to be on your toes. But the best part is that you don't even realize you're working. Like, I honestly can say that from the bottom of my heart, because you live, you breathe. So it's not a job for those people that want to make, Kat and I, we just talked about this last week. It's not about the people that want to make Christmas dinner or Easter. Like, Clay, you've missed how many New Year's Eve, right? New Year's Eve. This year, it's going to be Winter Classic, so you guys won't be playing, but, those kind of things. You can't mark things on your calendar, so to say, about that kind of stuff, because you do live and breathe your job, but I promise you will not miss that Christmas dinner. You will be having so much fun otherwise.
And if you don't miss it, and if you don't want to miss it, you can just do what we did, and we held Christmas dinner on December 14th, a couple weeks early. Right. That's how we make up for it. We just hold Christmas dinner really early.
How long did it take us to plan that dinner? Because we had to get all of our schedules in one little bit there.
And then Kat, last minute, you had to do something very last minute, and you couldn't even come. But Kat, what's your favorite part of working at MLSA?
I mean, this is my 7th season, actually, which is crazy to think about it. So obviously the whole family vibe, just the people you work with, the fact that you're involved in the sport, just the whole family thing. I keep calling it family, but it is. I mean, you get to know everybody from every aspect, every level, and and the fans as well. It's interesting the relationships you make through your job. The familiar faces you see every game, you talk to every day on Twitter, that have become more than just who you've met, courtside or etc. So yeah, it's a cool gig. It's a great gig. That's what it is.
You call it family. I'm going to call it kind of like roommates, because the four of us, if anyone's seen the digital studios, the four of us are pretty much given one desk that we're allowed to share when we're in. So sometimes we're tripping over each other a little bit. So for me, it's kind of like having roommates. It's having a bunch of great roommates around me. Rachel, as you close or go through your very first season with MLSE, what's been your favorite part so far?
Oh man, it's such a tough question. You didn't ask me that one beforehand. You know what? I'd have to agree with Kat. Just meeting all the supporters. I mean, this is my first season. I've only been here for 6 or 7 months. And I think a lot of people were worried how I would come across to all these fans. But it's just been so great. Everyone's just been so nice to me and taken me in. And, in times that I needed help from them, I would have rows and rows of tweets of people telling me things. So it's just the support and the family feeling that I get from MLSE. That's probably my favorite part of this job.
And Brooke, the second part of Tyson's question I'm going to throw to you, just because you know the team pretty well. He asks, who's going to be the best Toronto Marlies player on EA Sports 13?
Really? This year?
Yeah, NHL 13. He wants to know who's going to be the best Marlies player on it. I guess he's getting a little inside info before he started gaming.
Maybe he should be asking you this question. You haven't answered any questions, Clay. You're more in with the team. Boom!
I'm hosting. Next question. This one directed from Fun and Different. She was one of the first 5, I think, to submit her application video. It's directed towards Kat.
Oh, nice.
She says, "What's your best piece of advice for an inspiring host?" And she throws in brackets a little bit of inside info here.
All right. The way I look at it, I think, is that I think a host is kind of like a reflection of everybody's hard work towards the moment. You're the one presenting it, but everybody, you know, people are putting this contest together, somebody's writing your script, etc. And it's not always about you, it's about the subject, right? The person that you're presenting across. Yeah, and just expect the unexpected, I think. Say it again, Clayton.
Sure. The question is, what's your best piece of advice for an aspiring host? And the brackets read some insider stuff. You all right? Can you hear me, Kat? Yeah, we got you, Kat.
Sorry, I can't.
You can't.
I can't hear you, but if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you,
Yeah,
Kat.
we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Well, like I said at the beginning too, it's
Yeah.
yeah, just know what you're talking about. And exactly what I said at the beginning about, you know, you get this, but you have to know not just those words on paper, but everything else past that to bring
surrounds it.
Yeah, it depends what you're hosting too, I think. See what's hot in the moment. You know, I'm always looking at blogs. I'm always watching
I think
other TV shows. Yeah, and bring in everything.
Rachel's on the move.
My computer is gonna die.
It's like a tour of Leafs TV. Okay, Brooke, when we go to you, I'll give Rachel her question in a second. Fun and different. Directed this one towards you, Brooke. You have such an awesome job. Would you love to become? I would love to become your little sister of sorts, the Marlies host. What's the best part of your job?
Well, I think we touched upon it too, and I think the other girls did as well. Definitely, yeah, the interaction with the fans. You feel like you're a part of something bigger than you could ever be a part of. You know, Leafs Nation extends. It's not just at the rink. It is online. So being a part of a family like that, even not just the MLSE family, it's awesome to interact and see what. Because sometimes fans will tweet you and they'll say, listen, what you did today was awesome, or hey, next time can you ask this question, or whatever. And I think the feedback only helps us to be better people. So I think interaction with the fans is awesome. And obviously, given answer to that, the best part of the job is seeing hockey for free all the time. Marlies hockey, yeah, it's great times.
Okay, fun and different through one directly towards you, Rachel. The question is, as TFC brand ambassador is an awesome stadium with awesome rowdy fans, how do you, Rachel, capture their attention?
Ooh.
How do I capture their attention? Well, having a microphone and being on the Jumbotron definitely helps. But no, I think that we have this thing called TFC Live, and whenever we're tweeting, we use a hashtag TFC Live so people can join the conversation. And you know, I think that people really find it cool when I do like the behind the scenes stuff. So I'll take a ton of pictures, and I'll talk to the players, and I'll do whatever it takes to get them that knowledge from the inside.
Kat at Sherry Rains asks, what's the biggest reoccurring challenge you face as a host? Sleep? No.
Besides sleep, it's that live thing. You never know what's gonna happen, you know, and you have to be prepared for the unexpected. Like you can prepare, you can know your lines, you can know everything about these contests, you can talk to the people before, but sometimes, you know, things happen, and yeah, just be on your game, you know, know your stuff, be professional, and yeah, just be how do you prepare for the unexpected? I'm not sure. I think it comes with experience. You know, things have happened to me on court, but just be in the moment. be in the moment.
Perfect. Brooke, Stripe Save Goals, who submitted her video this week, and she did a little bit of her on-ice work, doing her moonwalk across the screen on skates. It was pretty impressive.
I think I saw that, yeah.
She says, hey, Brooke, just wondering when we'll find out who your choice is for the Marlies host position, and not that you can give it away, but maybe what's your top 3 qualities that you're looking for in the next Marlies host?
I kind of wish that I was like a judge at this, because I know watching the interviews, like watching my own interview back, for the Marlies especially, was quite funny, because, I mean, we all have screw-ups, and I think you just have to kind of, your imperfections, they determine, you know, that makes you human, right? So the top 3 qualities, I think, like I said, is be yourself. You have to have your own personality. You also have to be very dedicated, and by that means you have to be dedicated in the sense that if they need you to come in for that extra hour, you'll be there, and also be dedicated in the sense that you're dedicated to your job. So you know everything you need to know about the Marlies. Especially the Marlies, it's a little tough thing because, you know, the AHL affiliates are always changing. You know that, Clay. So, for instance, when I worked at the Marlies, and I know they did it this year, when you say your first opening thing, hey, it's Brooke, welcome to Ricoh Coliseum, and we're playing the Grand Rapids Griffins, affiliate of the Red Wings, the Detroit Red Wings. Well, if you don't follow AHL hockey, you might have more of a chance to screw that up, and they're always changing. So if you know those things, it's easier. So be dedicated in knowing everything. So be yourself, be dedicated, and also you can't take yourself too seriously. I think we put too much pressure on ourselves, and I learned that this year working for the Leafs. I was already a perfectionist, and I put too much weight on myself, and sometimes you just need to go with the flow, and like Kat said, it is a live environment, so have fun with it, embrace it, and yeah, that's my
That's
3 things.
Rachel, you're definitely one person that I take too seriously, especially when you're in a garbage can.
Kat has to say something.
Oh, Kat.
Stop your question, Kat. You go.
Jump in, Kat.
Go, Kat, go.
No, I was just going to say, because I had those words written down to dedication, preparation, like Brooke said, but also observation. Like, make sure you're looking around, kind of what's going on in the moment. You know, sometimes you have to listen to the crowd as well. Like, if you've tried to get them going a couple times and it's just, you know, mediocre kind of thing, you're going to have to take a different approach. So I think that's when things get stronger as well. So that's all. Next.
And the moments when you know it's my turn to jump in and speak. That's definitely the key.
I'll just wave, Clayton. I'll just go like that.
Okay.
Or there's like a buzzer.
Yeah, you can just buzz in a little
Let me talk.
Yeah, it's my turn now, darn it. Rachel.
Yes.
You haven't hosted yet inside the Ricoh Coliseum, but you're on the CNE grounds. We're practically neighbors. What do you think the Marlies host will look forward to most?
Being my neighbor, obviously.
Yeah.
No. I think that, honestly, one of my favorite parts of this job is the hosting the live halftime show. Mine's a little bit differently because the only time that I'm on the Jumbotron is during the halftime show because we don't have the, whatever you guys have, the TV, I don't know what they're called. But, so being in front of 20,000 people or whatever the Ricoh Coliseum fits is terrifying, but friggin' awesome. And you're on such a high after that you feel amazing. And it's really intimidating to start with, but I think that will definitely be one of your favorite things to do is just seeing yourself up on that Jumbotron and I've never talked to that many people in my life. Who wants to listen? I would never be able to pick out 20,000 people that would want to listen to me for more than a minute. So it's a really cool feeling.
I thought you were going to say the best part of their new job was going to be working with me. But you missed the ball.
And me.
And you. So, Brooke,
we're a great family. You should be totally psyched to... You know, this is my first time actually meeting Kat and Brooke, so... Nice to meet you, Kat. Nice to meet you. But we're all really cool people, and you should be really stoked, for sure.
It's pretty fun, especially when we're sharing a desk. It gets a little bit rowdy. Kat throws elbows. Watch out.
Clayton never leaves the computer unlocked.
Yeah, I never unlock the computer and make it difficult for everybody. Brooke, we're going to end on you with the very last question.
Uh-oh.
It's a good one, though.
Oh, is it?
What were your favorite moments from your Marlies Host experience?
Ooh, favorite moments. Well, we went through a lot of my season that I spent with the Marlies. As you know, Clay, we went through a lot of progression, I guess you could say, because we had a tough season at the start, low attendance, and then it crept up, and it was amazing. And I think we were pushing to the playoffs at that time too, so it was a really exciting time around the Ricoh Coliseum. And the best moments, well, during my Marlies thing, I got called up to the Leafs. So if I get sick, you might have that opportunity if you if that happens or something like that. But I don't know. I'm like trying to think. Like opening day was like mind-blowing to me, just because it was my first AHL game. Oh, throwing me under the bus. I'm trying to think.
That's a good one.
Even though it was so close, it was so not too long ago, but it was so far away. But
for any guys tuning in, you got to meet Bret Hart and interview him.
I did. I interviewed Bret Hart. He was my first celebrity interview, I guess you could say, and that was I forgot about that. That's very interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that, and we had some interesting games. We had the line brawl. That was a good game between was that Grand Rapids?
Grand
and
Rapids.
Marlies?
That was a doozy.
That was awesome. School day games. Oh my gosh, how did I forget about school day games? Those are the best part of Marlies games, because you have like 6,000 screaming children. You literally can't even hear what you're saying, and that's fun. Leading the wave for the children is awesome as well. There's so many great moments, and you're seeing live great hockey. You're part of a great team, and you're with some great fans. Duke's Dog Pound. You're going to get to know them very well.
I'm going to go across to the last two. Kat, any closing comments? I'm sure you've had some stuff cooked up. You always have something prepared. Preparation is key.
Preparation.
That's my advice. Yeah, have fun. Just have fun, and that's the beauty of it, that you can just be yourself. I think we all cater very well to our respected teams, what we bring as people, and yeah, just live it. Be all that Marlies thing. So yeah. That's what I have to say, and good luck. And
Rach, closing words?
I think that there's, in this job, there's a lot of exciting things happening. You can be told next week you're going to be interviewing this and that, and you're going to be doing this in a couple months and that in a couple months. There's a lot of planning, but just live in the moment and enjoy what you're doing. It's an amazing job. How many people are going to be jealous of you? Everyone. So love your job and kill it, and good luck to all of you. And yeah, just be yourself.
And
I'm bringing in all the little screens of all the other people.
Hi, everybody.
So we can all say hello. Hey, people. Thanks for joining the Marlies' very first Google Hangout, Google Plus Hangout. This was a lot of fun. Make sure you're following Brooke Pashley, the Leafs in-game host, at Brooke Pashley, of course, Kat Stefankiewicz, at Matter of Cat on Twitter. She also started a rad new blog, so you better check that out. She's representing us from the Raptors side. And, of course, Rachel Bonnetta, at Rachel Bonnetta on Twitter. 2 N's, 2 T's. I had to learn the hard way. I think I added the wrong Rachel Bonnetta.
So many people misspell it. Whatever. I'm over it.
And Clayton Hansler. Mr. Marlies himself, at Chancellor. Follow that guy.
You know how many times I've almost called you Chancellor when I first met you, Clayton?
Everyone does. People think it's my first name. They think my name's either Chancellor or Kelvin. It's one or the other. No one ever gets Clayton.
That's an inside joke. Inside joke. It's okay. I was filming at Leafs TV today, and I got called Ashley about 6 times, so it's okay.
Ashley.
It's all good.
Brooke with an E.
My last name's Pashley.
Ashley with a P.
You got it.
And that's it. That's it. I can see everyone logging off as the viewers drop. See you later. Good luck to everyone trying out. August 24th is the deadline. Tweet your 90-second video to the @Toronto Marlies using the Marlies Host hashtag. Hope to see you guys when the season starts.
Good luck.
Bye.
Good luck.